Hello everyone, I hope you all are good. Welcome to my C programming tutorial series. My name is Simran and I will teach you C language from basic to advanced level. So coming to the topics which we will discuss today, we will learn about what are the features of C language. Like how it is a high level language, okay, why it is so easy to learn, why it is called core language, how is portability present in the C language. Okay, we will see all the features which are written there. Okay, in this video. So let me recall you what we have discussed in the previous video. We have gone through the language translators, types of language translator like assembler, compiler and interpreter we have seen. Here you can see interpreter, compiler. Okay, what is the role of them inside the C language? And assembly language, what is the role of assembler. Okay, if you want to learn all these things, I have uploaded that video already. Okay, you can check its link inside the description. Okay, so coming to the topic of today. So first of all, why C is called a C? Why C is called high level language? So it is called high level language because its more focus is on the structure. Okay, the library which we are using, whatever functions which we are using, the loops, return statements. Okay, these are the things on which we have the more focus. We doesn't focus on the zeros and ones. Because in machine code we write what? We write code of zeros and ones. But in the high level language we have to focus on these things. Loops, statements, okay, like if then else statements, other things we will learn about that also. Main function, okay, predefined functions, user defined functions, okay. These are the things on which we have main focus. So that's why it is called a high level language. Now comes why it is so easy to learn. It is easy to learn because it is having some of the keywords which makes us easy to run the program or write the program. Like for example, here we are using integer. What is this integer? Integer is a keyword which has a specific meaning for the compiler. Compiler can understand that why we are using integer. We are using integer because it has a special meaning of integer variable. Okay, integer data type means this variable is having integer data type. That's why we are using this keyword. Not only this, we can use other type of data types also, like character we are using for any alphabet, string we use for a particular word. Okay, these are the types of data types. These are the keywords which are understandable by compiler, like why we are using inside that in our program. So now comes why it is called the core language. Here is this, like why it is called a small language also. It is called small language because here you can see it is called a small language because the keywords which we use inside are only 32. What are these keywords? These keywords are those which has a specific meaning and which is already known to the compiler, that why we are using that inside our program. Okay, so now comes why it is called a core language. It is called core language because there are some of the languages, like for example, Java and C++. Okay, Java and C++, which inherits some features. Okay, some features from C language. Okay, these are the language which are going to take some of the functionalities of the of the C language for their proper working. So that's why it is called the core language. Okay, on which the two other languages are dependent. Okay, so now the other functionality is, which is its feature, that says portability. Why it is having portability? In the previous video I told you that the program which we are going to run on machine, it can run on different machines also. That's why it is called a portable language. Okay, our program can run on others computer also. Now it is having the functionality of built-in function. Built-in function means to say which are already present. Built-in function are also called predefined functions, okay, whose meaning is known to the compiler, that why we are using that function. Like for example, this is the main function. Okay, the compiler knows that inside the main function our main program will be there. Okay, and if we want to like for example, if we want to do some mathematical calculation in our program, then there will be no need to create all the functions. We can use some of the function by the help of math.h library. Okay, if we are going to include that library inside our program, like for example, here we are using stdio.h. It is having all the predefined functions which we are using inside our program. But if we want to use the functions which are calculative functions of method.h library inside our program, then we have to include that library in our program. It will be helpful for the calculation purposes, like we can use these functions for other purposes also, like other calculations also we can use this function. Okay, so we can use the built-in functions also inside our program. Why it is called a structured language? It is called a structured language because you can see we write all the things in the sequence manner. Like where we have to write the library, like this is the library, this is the main function, okay, this is the return type, and here the program is going to be end. Okay, the loop where is going to start, where it is going to end. Okay, we are writing all the things in the sequence manner. We are not doing in such a way like library at the end, main function at the start. Okay, this will create a very bad impact on the program. It will not run properly. Okay, so right approach is that we have to write the library, then we have to write the program. It will do work then. So now coming to the other feature which is of modularity. Why C has a modularity feature? Okay, so you can see modularity means to say like dividing a bigger problem into smaller problem. Here you can see modularity means when we are going to divide a bigger problem into smaller parts. Okay, suppose we are having the question of doing the like we have to calculate the area and perimeter of rectangle. Okay, then we will try one, and what we will do, we will try to write the program for both the cases, okay, in a single program. Like we will try to write all the code, but no need to do that. We will create two different functions. Like for area we will make other function, and for perimeter we will make other function. Okay, user defined function we will create. In this way our problem will get solved in easy way, and we can do the modularity inside the C language in this way. Okay, we are going to divide our problem into smaller parts. Okay, so that our problem get not complex. So now coming to the pointers, there is a use of pointers also. Now why we use pointers in the C language? In C language we use pointers so that we can store the address. Okay, for address purposes we use address of what? We store the address of variable. Okay, we store the address of this variable which we are using. I will tell you about what are these variables or constants, why we use them in a program in the further videos. This is our video where we are learning about features of C language. So I am just describing about the features of C. Here you can see we use the pointers inside our program, but here we are not using pointers, we are using just simple variable. Okay, if we are using pointers, then how we will write star s is equals to s is just a variable. Here you can use any alphabet or any word. Okay, for storing what? For storing the address of another variable. If we are going to store the address, we have to use this symbol. Okay, whose address we are going to store? We are going to store the address of I. In this way we have to write. In this way we will use the address of I variable inside the this pointer variable. Okay, why it is used? It is used so that we can point to the particular variable, and we can know that what is the value of the variable which is stored at that particular address. Okay, this is the main working of pointers. So now comes extensible. Why it is called extensible language? It is called extensible because we can create user defined functions. Okay, I told you previously in this case where I have written, see, here you can see we can create the functions of area and perimeter of rectangle by own. Okay, if we are having some another shape also, then we will create the area, then we will create the formula for calculating its area by own. Okay, then this will be user defined function. The functionalities which are not present, some of the functions which are not present inside the C language, we can add it by making it extensible. Okay, if we are adding it, then the language is becoming the extensible, therefore it is called extensible language. Now it is having the fast execution. In the previous video I told you that in the compiler language there is no need to come to the source code again. Okay, because what happens, source code is there. Okay, source code is converted into what, into object code. Okay, and then the executable file is created. Okay, once executable file is created, okay, this file is used for running the program again and again. No need to come to the source code. But into the interpreter languages, what is going to happen? Again, we have to come to the source code. Error will come. If not, error will be there. The output will come. Okay, again, interpreter has to come to the source code. That's why not coming to the source code again and again, just by using the help, by just by using the exe file for running the program, the time is not getting consumed there. Therefore it is having the fast execution of program. The next point is of dynamic memory allocation. Why it is having dynamic memory allocation? Because in this, at a runtime, we can give particular memory to the variable, and we can free the memory from that particular variable with the help of some functions like malloc for creating the memory, or we can say for allocation of memory for a particular variable, or when we want that memory get freed. Okay, then we use this function. These are some of the functions which are used for the memory allocation or memory deallocation. So now, it is also called case sensitive. Why it is called case sensitive? Case sensitive means to say, like for example, here I have written integer I. But if, see, all the places small I is written there, there and there. And if I am going to write there what? If I am going to write there capital I, can you tell me that this program will run or not? See, if I am going to run that program, what it will say? It is saying that each declared identifier is reported only once for each function it appears. Means to say, here it is also saying I undeclared first use in this function. Okay, it is saying that I is not declared. Okay, here integer I is written, integer I is declared, but here directly we are using capital I, it is not declared hence. Okay, it means to say that I small I and capital I are different variables. We have to declare both of them. Okay, so that's why the program doesn't run. Means to say, if we are using capital words or small letter words, then they are having different meaning. Therefore, C is a case sensitive language. We have to take care of that, like we have to use capital where and where small letters. So now, why it is called a platform dependent language? It is called a platform dependent language because if we are going to run .exe file, okay, on different operating system, then not run. Okay, why it will not run? Because the other operating system like of Mac, uh, Linux, okay, then these are the operating systems which will have different extensions for saving the executable file. Okay, in the Windows .exe file is created, but in the Mac and Linux it is having other extension. Okay, so .exe extension file is not going to run on the Mac and Linux. Okay, so we have to make the files which are having the extensions which are supported by the Mac or Linux operating system. So that's why it is platform dependent. So the last one, which is the feature of embedded system, is of C language. Let me tell you why it is having the feature of embedded system. So embedded system means to say which is having the combination of hardware and software. So for example, there is an electronic system, something like for example, there is a refrigerator. Okay, then it is the coding behind the working of refrigerator is done in C language. Okay, so C is also popular for the creation of some embedded systems like refrigerator. Okay, so these were some of the features of C language, okay, which I have told you. We will recall that from this. Okay, you can see we have learned about the features of C language. Okay, we have seen that it is a high level language because we are focusing on library functions and loop structures. The functions which we are using, okay, it is easy to learn because here we are using the keywords. It is small language because we are using just 32 keywords here. It is portable because the code can run on any machine. Okay, it is a core language because the Java and C++ are going to use some of the functionalities of C language. Next one comes, it has predefined functions. We can use predefined functions like printf, scanf. We use printf for printing, scanf for taking the input from the user, malloc for the creation of memory, and free for the freeing up memory from a variable. So it is having the fast execution also. How fast execution? I told you about the executable file is created, which is used for again and again running of the program. So why it is extensible also? It is extensible because here we can create user defined functions accordingly. We use pointers also for the referencing. Okay, we use the address of a particular variable inside another pointer variable. So it is also having modularity. How it is having modularity? It is having modularity because here we can convert a bigger problem into smaller by using different types of functions. Like for calculating the area, we are using particular function for area, and for perimeter we are using different functions. So here you can see this is the case sensitive language. How it is case sensitive language? Because here capital A and different A has different meanings. Okay, they are having different meanings. It is also used in embedded system because the coding behind the working of a particular electronic system is written in the C language. Okay, so it is very popular for the making of embedded systems also. It is platform dependent. How is it platform dependent? Because of the operating system extensions. Okay, because of the operating system extensions, because Linux and Mac are having different extensions of their executable files. Windows have .ext extension, but the other operating system are having different extension. Therefore, the code which we are running on the Windows not able to run on the operating system of different machines. Okay, like Linux and Mac will not be able to run the particular program which is saved in .exe executable file. Okay, for the Linux or Mac. So that's all for guys for today's video. Okay, I have covered all the things. Thank you so much.